Imagine an ancient temple sitting alone on a hilltop in Bac Kan, a former ammunition depot during the resistance war, where blood and memories merge. In the thick fog, the sound of headless footsteps still echoes. You are entering a true story where history and spirituality intersect. The legend of the headless soldier. In 2023, when social networks were flooded with articles about strange, virtual living places, an old story suddenly emerged on the exploration forum. The abandoned temple on Bac Kan Hill. At night there were footsteps, explosions, and a headless shadow. That is why four friends Trung, Lin, Hoi and Mai decided to visit Nam Lanh Pagoda, an ancient temple that was once used as an ammunition depot during the resistance war against the French. Located on the top of a high hill, Nam Lanh Pagoda is surrounded by dark forests, as if intentionally hidden by nature. The mottled walls, moss-covered tiled roofs and rotten wooden gates have an unusually cold look. The pine trees along the path tilted as if trying to stop strangers. From afar, the pagoda looks like a crack in history where there used to be a secret ammunition depot. A place that witnessed blood, fire and souls who did not have time to return. Man standing Trung the unbeliever. Trung, the group leader, is a daredevil. He likes strange places but doesn't believe in ghosts. What's wrong with an ancient temple? I'll check in, take pictures, and then go home. What's there to worry about? Hui's girlfriend Mai, who suggested the trip, laughed. I heard that anyone who stays overnight at a temple will encounter trouble. Let's try to see if there's really anything interesting. Hoi, the group's photographer, happily checked his infrared camera. Lin was silent, her eyes flashing with worry. She was a spiritual person, sensitive to strange things, but didn't want to ruin the fun. The group arrived late in the afternoon. After filming a few videos for TikTok, Trung enthusiastically suggested, let's camp in the temple yard tonight. It's both chill and has unique content. They brought tents, flashlights, Wi-Fi transmitters, and fast food. As the sun set, the temple scene became even more strange. The sky was gray. The space was suspiciously quiet. Mai discovered a cracked brick cellar behind the main hall. There were scratches on the ground as if someone had dug it up. Lin walked closer, shivering. This place smells like metal, like old gunpowder. Trung laughed. It must be because it's too old. Or maybe it's just my imagination. 12 o'clock, exactly 12 o'clock at night. The forest mist covered the hill. While the group was playing cards under the tent lights, Lin was startled by a sound coming from the cellar. Guys, did you hear a knock on the door? Everyone fell silent. The sound of knock rang out again regularly, as if someone was knocking from underground. Hoi immediately turned on the infrared device, but the screen only showed a faint heat shadow behind the cellar door. Trung took a deep breath. Go out there and take a look. Mai shook her head. Don't open it. It could be a rat or a living person. Trung didn't listen. He took the flashlight and walked towards the hatch. Lin held his hand. I feel something is wrong. Like someone is standing there, looking out. When Trung was about to open the hatch, a loud explosion sounded from afar like a bullet coming from underground. The ground shook slightly. A few bricks fell from the wall. Hoi turned the camera to the side and saw a figure standing next to a stone pillar. Wearing a faded soldier's shirt, headless. Trung didn't see anything, but Lin and Mai turned away. Their faces pale. Lin's voice trembled. I know, this isn't a happy thing. We shouldn't stay. That very night, the group packed up their tents and left the temple. On the way down the hill, they looked back and saw the lights in the main hall turn on by themselves, even though there was no electricity there. When they were filming as they left the temple, a strange sound suddenly came from the wind. Report, the ammunition depot was exposed. A few days later, Trung checked the memory card of the midnight recording, and saw a handwriting on the temple wall in black charcoal. I haven't been called by name for the last time. The four friends left Bac Kan, but No one joked about the trip anymore. Lin dreamed of the sound of bells echoing in the wind. Hoi didn't dare to look at the infrared photos they had taken. Trung, who didn't believe, wrote a short line in his diary. Not everyone who dies can rest in peace, especially when their name is not remembered. The sky in Bac Kan at night is always covered with fog. On the hill, Nam Lanh Temple is now surrounded by darkness and cold. The four friends sat quietly in Trung, Lin, Hoi and Mai's tent after the shock of last night, the sound of knocking from the ground, the headless white shadow, and the empty eyes appearing right in the middle of the temple yard. No one said anything, but everyone felt. Something was happening. Not a joke, not imagination, underscore. The next morning, the group left the tent to find food. At the edge of the forest near the path, they met the old man from the forest again. His brown shirt worn out on the shoulders, still sitting by the old charcoal stove. He looked at the group and said, as if he knew everything that had happened, "You heard it, right? Footsteps, bullets." Trung spoke up. "I saw a soldier without a head," the old man said in a low voice. In 1947, this place used to be a secret ammunition depot. The Vietnamese soldiers hid it under the temple. When the French discovered it, they were angry. They shot dead 10 guards right in this yard. No trial, no names, no graves. Lin asked softly, "So, they died unjustly?" He nodded, his eyes looking up at the moss-covered stone gate. "If you die without being called by name one last time, your soul cannot be liberated. They just walk around the temple, waiting for someone to hear your call, waiting for someone to return the forgotten memories." That afternoon, Hoi tried to return to the tunnel door this time bringing a camera with him. "What if I really see a ghost?" Hoi set up the camera and took a picture. When reviewing the photos, everyone was silent in the third photo. In the right corner, there was a white figure standing in the middle of the stairs down to the basement. Headless, holding a rusty gun. Lin exclaimed, "It's the person from yesterday." Mai shivered, her hand gripping the edge of the door. "I shouldn't continue." While the group was discussing around the photo, Mai stood up and walked straight to the basement door. Trung called out to her, but she didn't turn around. Then suddenly Mai stopped, her head bowed slightly, her hands shaking. In that moment, she spoke but her voice wasn't hers. "Give me bulletins." The words were hissed, echoing like a scream tearing through the night. "I haven't reported. They betrayed me. Did you hear? Report, report." The group panicked. Trung ran to hold Mai. Lin hugged Hoi, her eyes red. After about a minute, Mai fell unconscious. On her sleeve was a faint trace of dirt as if someone had just grabbed it from a deep tunnel. As Trung poked Mai into the tent, an explosion rang out, not loud, but enough to shake the ground. It was as if someone had just thrown a bullet into the tree roots. The smell of gunpowder filled the air, pungent, spreading throughout the temple yard. Hoi panned his camera, but now nothing appeared. There was only fog, wind and a wall that had just cracked, revealing behind it a broken wooden box and a rotten notebook inside. Trung picked it up. It was the diary of a French soldier with scribbled handwriting, written in both French and Vietnamese. He opened it and read aloud. March 21st, 1947. The order came from the district post. Shoot all Vietnamese soldiers guarding the warehouse. They did not resist. A man named Luke held my hand. Said nothing. When he fell, his eyes were still open. Lin cried. Hoi took a picture of the notebook. Mai woke up, staring at the words. "I have not been called by name for the last time." The night of Bac Kan covered the pine forest. In the tent, Trung sat by the lamp, holding an old diary, his face pensive. They do not hold grudges, they just want to be remembered. No one answered. Outside, where the tunnel entrance was covered with canvas, the gentle wind blew the canvas up to reveal stone steps, leading down to where the calls had never been heard. The atmosphere on the Bac Kan hills that morning was heavy, even though the fog had cleared and the sky had turned clear. After the strange phenomena of explosions, white shadows, the diary denouncing the massacre of a group of 4 friends now no longer had any excitement for virtual life. Instead, there was only fear, torment, and a strange urge from Lynn. When the sky just brightened, Lynn sat alone by the tunnel entrance. Her eyes were wide open, her pupils dilated, her skin pale. No one could shake her reaction. Only her skinny arm kept pointing at the bunker door covered by a tarpaulin. Down there, they're still down there. Lynn's voice seemed not to be hers. After a while, she suddenly muttered softly, repeating, "They haven't been buried, haven't been buried." Trung looked at horror, his face tense. Mai's eyes were filled with tears, her hands clasped in front of her chest. They understood. Now they couldn't pretend not to see anymore. This was no longer a matter of filming a clip, not a game, but a call that needed to be answered. The group prepared a small incense tray, placed it in front of the bunker door where the ammunition depot used to be and where the knocking sound echoed endlessly. Trung lit the incense, bowed his head and prayed. "If you are the ones who sacrificed, we apologize for disturbing you. We promise to do something good so you can rest in peace." Lynn suddenly woke up, her eyes filled with tears. But her voice was already hers. "I saw them standing around me, not saying anything. Just looking," Hoy whispered. "They have been waiting for this, for too long." The next morning, the group went down the hill, went to the commune committee and reported to the cadres about what had happened from the old tunnel door. The French soldiers' diaries, to the haunting phenomenon. At first, the cadres were suspicious, but when they arrived, they realized that the traces of the underground tunnel and the smell of burnt soil were really unusual. A working group was sent up. Under the collapsed bricks just over a meter from the ground, they discovered a long tunnel. Inside were 10 sets of human remains, placed roughly next to each other, without coffins, without tombstones. The local government coordinated with the Veterans Association and the commune militia to organize a reburial ceremony. The 10 sets of remains were brought to the district martyrs cemetery, and were posthumously awarded the title of martyr according to the remaining records. The Nam Lanh Pagoda was later rebuilt on the foundation, with a new memorial stele with the inscription, "Here, 10 Vietnamese people sacrificed for the country. Please bow your head before their silence." After the reburial, there were no more strange phenomena at the pagoda. The camera did not capture the white shadow. Mai did not speak in a man's voice. And Lynn no longer looked towards the tunnel door. Before leaving Bac Kan, Trung recorded a final video not to post, but to keep. In it, he said, "War leaves not only wounds on the body, but also unnamed wounds in the ground. Everyone deserves to be buried as a human being, no matter who they are. If they have sacrificed, they should be remembered." If you want to hear more Vietnamese ghost stories, follow. Turn on notifications, because sometimes the truth only appears in the dark.